gathering of our own together, and we're all kind of seeing, oh look, there's Ted Lieu, and then there's Ken Jeong, and you know, kind of pointing the finger and looking around at all of our histories and accomplishments and how they have all brought us together to come behind this presidential candidate, and how important that is, but also as a community, how important that is for us to experience that with one another. I find that super moving. And it's very rare that we ever get these opportunities to kind of come together in this way. And so this event is super important that way. Everything that she represents as vice president, it's already been put on the table. Her representation as vice president of the United States, that is just a huge thing that is exponentially going to explode for all of the young people in this country when we elect her president. I just, you know, I could talk forever about the policies and the reasons why I'm behind her and the ticket. None the least of which is because she's Asian American and I'm Asian American, and one of your own achieve such an incredible position of success and importance when they're ready for the job is a rare experience. And like I said, it feels very historical to me. But what I really want us to all do is kind of get together and really continue to encourage people to donate money. That's why we're all here, and to roll up our sleeves and participate in this election, because what I really feel is that we have a very specific role as Asian Americans in this particular election. Asian Americans play a very specific role in all of the swing states. We have a history of, I don't know what you would call them, maybe fiscally conservative Asian Americans who are undecided about who they're voting for. They're not necessarily as interested in the bigger picture of the reproductive rights and LGBTQ rights and things like that, but they're looking kind of in a very specific area of why they're choosing to make their vote, and they are the ones who we need to persuade. When we're talking about 10 people to persuade, if we can persuade those people to not only vote, but to vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, we are going to be extremely influential in this election. We are going to make a difference. The swing states, I have been a presidential volunteer surrogate for the Democratic presidential candidate for the last 4 elections. I've learned so much in this incredibly rich experience. And one of the things I've learned is the value of the Asian American vote. And in these swing states where the vote is very close and where every vote matters, like handfuls of votes can make a big, big difference. And I think through our volunteering, using our language skills, if people, I'm encouraging people to go and volunteer who are bilingual and trilingual, so that we can talk to Asian elders and things like that about the vote, and really get out there and knock on doors and make phone calls. That is where I think our value is really the most going to go. We're going to get the most bang for our buck. And I really, that's why I came here, and I've waited this whole program so that I could say that, but also to say, to answer your question, the representation of this, of how we come to the table and how she comes to the table and how we must be behind her in order to make this moment in history happen for her and for us, is incredible. And it is, you know, I'm in several communities. I'm a great grandchild of immigrants. I'm an actor trying to make a living in the crazy, sometimes racist environment of the entertainment industry. And I'm a surrogate for an Asian American presidential candidate. And in all 3 of those communities, I have understood and learned what it means to recognize an opportunity when I see one. And that comes from my great-grandparents coming here to make a better life, and understanding what every single little opportunity was. And it trickles down to all my other identities. And that idea of understanding what this opportunity means to us as a community and as individuals who care about the policies, sure, but also who care about the representation, is palpable and full of joy and full of excitement. And I'm just wanting to share that I'm bursting with that with all of you great guys. I've been admirers. I've admired all of you over the years. I've worked with you, some of you, and it's incredible to be here with you. And for us to share this moment of kind of telling people what to, how they can make a difference, right?
Yeah, when you invited me onto this room, legends, I was like, oh my God, these guys are the legends. I've seen them kick down the doors and demand a place at the table. Like I saw La Bamba in the theater, and I went, oh my God, I want to do that, and then I moved to New York City, and B.D. Wong was on Broadway, and then Butterfly, and then I saw Rush Hour, and there's Ty, and I learned that Ty's a Chinatown guy like me, and I'm like, God, I don't think I'm a legend like you guys. I just see you guys and go, I'm still like, wow, I'm fanboying out here, But in terms of what you said, what connects us in this moment is being Asian American or Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander, right? In this moment with the sister in the house.
Yes, with the sister.
This is the moment because of all the violence we face, and I'm so, I'm first and fourth generation. I'm pretty close to being immigrants, firstborn in my country, but I could feel Kamala's, like allegiance or to her family, her mother, her fathers, they're immigrants. Another reason why I love Kamala is she was born in Oakland, California, where I was born in 1964, the year I was born in a hospital near MacArthur and Broadway, possibly the same hospital where I was born. So I understand where Kamala's coming from. It's like Oakland is a very unique city that represents America, all of America in many ways, because the people go through. Oaklanders know how to survive, right? They've seen its share. We've seen our share of oppression, right? Of violence, and how do we get out of that? And we fought for that over. You look at history, and you understand history. So I see that. I just want to share one thing, this 15-second clip right here that put it on to context for me, right? So let's see if this works.
Oh, that sometimes people will open the door for you and leave it open. Sometimes they won't. And then you need to kick that door down.
She dropped the F-bomb there, right? She dropped the F-bomb. It's all in the news. Kamala Harris said, you got to kick that effing door down if they don't hold it open for you. So I saw all that in you guys, right? The legends right around me, that you guys kept kicking that door down so that I can come into the room and do some camera work. And I'm just amazed that I'm sitting here, and the three of us or four of us, all of us here today are working towards a shared goal of getting an AANHPI women represented into the presidency of the United States.
Thank you, Perry. One thing I just want to say, I didn't have a chance to introduce Perry, but for those of you who haven't watched Warrior, Perry, you might have caused me to not get sleep for a couple of months earlier this year, because the series depicts my city of San Francisco in the 1870s after the Chinese Exclusion Act, and showcases the incredible anti-Asian discrimination and racism and violence that is repeating itself in history under Donald Trump. And so just thank you for opening that up. I want to bring Lou Diamond Phillips into the conversation. Perry mentioned that all of us in 1987 wanted to be Richie Valens and La Bamba. Thank you for that. Your Golden Globe nomination for Stand and Deliver, Young Guns. But my question for you, and I'm sure you've been thinking about this, is you're a Hapa brother. You are Filipino, but you also have Native American, Scottish, Irish blood in you. We are watching Kamala Harris get attacked by Donald Trump because of her biracial background. And you are someone who, I'm sure as you're working your way through the industry, didn't fit easily in any box, and you had to deal with that. I'm just curious your perspective on that, particularly as we watch our candidate go through what she's going through.
They still don't know what box to put me in, brother. You know what I'm saying?
You're in our box.
Yeah, no, 100%. I've always said my career, kind of represents the UPS logo. What can Brown do for you? And, I've been so honored to represent so many different communities, whether it be the Latino community or, the Native American community, or finally getting to play Asian on Broadway in The King and I. And I've been playing Filipino a lot more lately, which is actually pretty wonderful because we're so much more aware. But this is something that we're dealing with. And Perry, thank you for saying that, because, yes, some of us opened up some doors and we kept our foot in the door so people could keep coming in behind us. And that's what we're doing. And when we talk about FaceTime, this is exactly, what we mean. Get out there, represent, put your face where your mouth is, and show people that this is what America looks like. And for those people who think in simple black and white, and I mean that both figuratively and literally, they have to understand that there is more nuance and more complexity to Americans and to the Asian American experience than meets the eye. I mean, the Asian American umbrella, the AANHPI, movement is not monolithic. We come from many different areas, many different regions. We have different experiences. But as we sit here today, we're all Americans and we're all voters. And, I look back on one of my proudest moments when I was 16 years old. I trained my mother, Lucy Filipina, to take her citizenship test. I'd love to see a lot of people on the other side of the aisle take that citizenship test too, because I'm not so sure they could pass it. But she did pass it. And then I stood next to her when she took her oath of citizenship. So I am indeed a first generation American. I was born with dual citizenship. And so I was very fortunate to a military father. And once again, there's a lot, Ted Lieu, what an amazing man. My friend Ron Nierenberg, military city, San Antonio. It offends me that they've taken patriotism and the flag and everything else and wrapped themselves in it. When, believe me, there are patriots on this side. There are people who support our military on this side. And by the way, we put our money where our mouth is. We pass the bills. We pass the bills to take care of our vets. So, as many people have said, and as BD has so eloquently put, this is time for us to mobilize. This is time for us to get out there. I want to share one quick story. I did a similar event with then candidate Kamala for vice president back in 2019, and my teenage daughter, who's on the spectrum, wanted to say hello, and Kamala took the time not only to say hello to her, but then when Indigo said, I'm so sorry, I'm not old enough to vote for you, she empowered her by saying, yes, but your heart and what you want to do in this life, and that you have an opinion. And she gave this young woman, this young girl at the time, that kind of hope. And that's what she does for so many people that she covers. I mean, we talk about the bamboo ceiling, the glass ceiling. I mean, there's so many ceilings. I mean, Kamala could live in a high rise, with all the ceilings she's got to break through. So, we support her, we're behind her, and we keep doing that. And we understand that representation is something that we need to bring our nation into the 21st century.
Thank you, Lou. I got to say, I don't know for the other viewers, but I wish any number of you guys had run for office. We're going to have to have another conversation. I, of course, want to bring the legend of legends into this conversation. For those of you who have not had a chance to look at all of the various things that Tai Ma has been, the list, 51 years of breaking barriers, of seeing Hollywood evolve over time, from an industry that was not welcome to our faces on this screen. And I just have to ask you, what are your thoughts at this moment, both as you think about how you came up, but as you watch how a fellow sister could finally achieve and grab that, the ring that actually does rule them all?
Let me tell you something. Kamala Harris, Madam President soon to be, I am a transplant Angelino, so I am very familiar with her rise and her hard work and how articulate she is and how considerate she is. And I could not find a better person to lead America than our sister, Kamala Harris. And I tell you, there are many paths to success. It depends on what your definition of success is. I try to avoid all the shining objects. I try to do the things that I feel that speaks to me, to my heart. And those are the roles that I want to try to take. And I try to take it in a way where it's as much diversity as we can. And I do not subscribe to ethno-specific acting. I think we should really be open to accept all the AAPI actors in the community and to be any AAPI ethnicity as they choose to do. And I tell you, really, this is just a part of being the actor, to be a part of all of this excitement. And Kamala Harris, our assumed president to be, is the right leader at the right time. I personally, before heard the announcement, I was depressed, man. I'm sorry. I could not even get myself to promote some of the stuff that I've been in. And I just feel that they were frivolous and I couldn't do it. I was depressed. And then once I heard the announcement, man, I was like raised the roof, man. I was like the joyous, rocking and dancing and moving. I'm telling you, it is just, I think what we need to do is to understand that participation is everything. We need to participate. We need to go and vote. We need to convince other people to vote. We got to continue to be an activist. We cannot afford not to be an activist, as a person of color. We always have to participate. We cannot be indifferent. We cannot sit back and let other people take the lead. We constantly have to take the lead, no matter what happens, man. No pain, no gain, no guts, no glory, man. I'm telling you, this is the word from the late great Marco, who's one of my greatest mentors. And he said, you know what? Take chances, man. That's what we got to do. And we have to continue to not only, kick the door down. We got to occupy the room. We got to be part of the table. And we have a seat at the table finally at this moment. And you know what? It doesn't take an advanced degree to know how important this election is. Everything at stake, that's facing the America that we know, and we got to bring that back. And that is the most important thing for all of us. And I really don't think there's such a stretch for us to get this done. We are going to get it done, and we're going to win.
Yeah, brother.
Word.
Word.
I just word, absolutely. Thank you guys so much. The legends have spoken, and you all are legends. I mean, I grew up watching all of you. You all inspired me. Seeing someone who looked like you on TV excelling in the creative arts opened up entire possibilities that I didn't think would be possible. So I'm just so grateful for your activism, for your talent, and for being here today. David, I'm sure you're as awestruck as I am.
Well, listen, I think we could probably go on for hours and hope that we can do this in other contexts. But and one of the challenges with this format is you can't hear all the people who are clapping around America for you guys, for who you have been and who you are and how you speak to us. But BD Wong, Tai Ma, Lou Diamond Phillips, Perry Young, thank you. Thank you for being legends.
Thank you.
Thank you for having
David.
us.
Thanks for the shout out.
Let's
too.
go.
Thank you.
Donate, everyone. Let's get this show on the road.
Yes. It costs money to run an election, man. Let's put the dollar where it belongs, man. Put that dollar where it belongs.
Let's do it.
Thank you for reinforcing that. We have 10,000 people watching on various channels right now. An incredible audience. That's the good news. The challenging news is we are still short of our fundraising goal. If every single one of the 10,000 people who are watching right now just gave $10, just $10, we could hit our fundraising goal like that. So please, if you haven't donated, if you've already donated, please check out the QR code. Click on that, donate right now, get $10 in for the 10,000. I'm going to do it. I've been watching the ticker. My mom, Drenko, she put in some money. Thank you so much to my mom. I'm so grateful for that. Please follow her lead. I know I'm harping on this, but we are short of our fundraising goal, and that is not good enough. It's not good enough for this event. It's not good enough, most importantly, for the vice president. So please dig deep, and please give. David, have you given? Have you already clicked on the QR code?
Now, I literally have my credit card. I'm trying to figure out what time to do it, but I will do it before the end of this call.